Hey Kirby, I saw your video called I Forgot This Was Supposed to Be Fun. At least I think that's what it's called. And I figured I'd make a response because this is the stuff that I think about all the time. Not only just for, regular life stuff. I actually once screamed at my sister, this is supposed to be fun! In the middle of us playing tennis because she was getting frustrated with herself. But obviously for art. So let's just dive into this, Ouroboros round robin thing that I have here, which is split into two halves, right? The first one, the art is not you, is something that at least alleviates a little bit of anxiety for me. A lot of times I think I find myself worrying all the time about what a thing will look like to other people, because it's something that has to be perfect, including this video. I stressed about what it would be like, about getting the font to look like it was in a circle the whole time, and that's not the important part. But your inner critic wants it to be perfect. So the first bit of realizing that your art is not you helps you put away a little bit of that voice inside that's oh, this sucks, oh, this is gonna suck, it's not gonna be the way you want it in your head, and when other people see it, this is how you're going to be represented. Your art isn't actually a representation of you either. It's just a little thing that you do, and if you are in the public arena, then, maybe focusing on how it could be of service to other people, like this video, which I aimed to be for New Year's, but you can see where the critic took me. A lot of worry about art is really in how it's going to be perceived, and especially how it's going to reflect back on you as the person who made it. When you post things online, the latest thing that you posted is essentially how people would imagine you. But that's not great to have when you're making the thing. What you should have in mind is, how can I make this smaller? How can I make this more viable? And how can I put something in place to do the next thing? So it's not about how you look, and it's most definitely not about how you look to other people. But instead, if you have turned your head upside down to read this, the art is for you. It leads me right into it. Let's flip this bad boy over and check that it's visible in here. Yeah, perfect. I'm keeping that in. If it's not a representation of you, if it's instead this little piece that you're putting out into the world and being okay, this is, in service of the next thing, or in service of the next person who sees it, then perhaps while you're making it, you can think of your art as a practice. For me, at least, if I feel like I've done something creative that day, I can go to sleep and be thank God that monkey isn't on my shoulder. And the second thing, if it's not a representation of you, if it's not your whole identity, then perhaps it can just be an expression of how you're feeling in that moment. I find the idea of an expression helps shrink the scope of an art piece from being your statement, your identity, your thesis as an artist, and instead kind of makes it casual. It's an expression. How are you doing? This is how I'm doing. This is what I'm thinking about. This is just the open browser tab in my brain that I'm going to close out after I hit publish on this. And then I'll move on to the next thing. So whether it's a practice for your creative hygiene so that you don't feel like your idle hands are the devil's workshop, or it's an expression of how you're feeling because whatever medium you choose happens to be the best way you can put it across, the art can be for you instead of being you. I hope that helps. Happy New Year!